what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. And since we had Roscoe on yesterday, I thought it only fair that we get the other half of the wrecking crew. He's not so camera friendly, but this is Chewy. Chewbacca, say hi, buddy. Hey, everybody. Okay, that was your 5 seconds of fame. Today we're going to talk about video games. Everybody sees that I sell a lot of video games and that I talk about them a lot. And everybody wanted a list of some of the top video games to look for. Titles, genres, platforms, all that sort of thing. So I thought the best way to show you guys was jump over to my screen and we'll just jump right into it with 10 of my top sellers that you should be always looking for, whether it's the most expensive ones or whether it's just the ones that fly out the door. They may not be worth a fortune, but they sell so quick you can make a fast profit on it. So without further ado, let's go over to my screen. I'll share it with you on eBay and we can take a look at these ones. Okay, here we go. As always, we're on my eBay screen and we can see sold listings. And the first one we're going to jump into is the ever popular Pokemon. There's no reason to leave it off the list as anything but number one. Anything Pokemon sells. I know the Pokemon Go rage is over, but listen, any video game, whether it's DS, 3DS, Game Boy Advanced, all Pokemon sells. The only thing you have to be very, very careful with is fakes. Pokemon games, because they sell so quickly, they sell for such good prices, are faked very, very often. Now, you can Google up some ways to tell some fake Pokemon games, especially the Game Boy Advanced ones. They tend to be one of the most faked, but I will try to link a few down in the description box below. Just like anything else, like purses or anything else that's faked, some of them are really good and they're hard to tell. And the things that I'm going to link you about how to tell if they're fake or real may only apply to some of them and not all of them. So just be very careful when you're buying them. And if you don't feel right about them, just pass, walk away. If anything looks off, walk away. You don't want to list these on eBay or Amazon. Your customer gets them, realizes they're fake, and calls eBay or Amazon with a counterfeit claim. That's one of the worst things you can get. So just be very careful with it. Make sure you're buying from legit sources. If somebody offers you 100 copies of the same Pokemon game, it's probably fake. Walk away. Don't let the greed blur your vision. Okay, so here's just some 3DS ones. They're like the Sapphire and Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Sun. Ton of different ones. You can see these are all 20, 25, 30. Now, the prices you're going to see here, depending on when you watch this video, these prices may or may not be good. My answer to every single comment I'm going to get on how much is this worth or how much is that worth, they change so frequently, I can't give you prices. You got to look them up. Educate yourself, study, research, make a list, and update that list as you go. So this is just giving you an idea that most of these sell 20 up, 25 up. So if you can pick these games up for, $5 and $10 or less, and then you can flip them for 25, 30, 27, they're really good and they flip really, really fast. So that's Pokemon. I'm going to show you another Pokemon that's pretty good. This is the old Game Boy games and DS ones. This particular DS one is called Heart Gold. This one is like a $40 game and up. I think I've sold it for upwards of $50 before. I've sold it in the box for like $60. I've sold this version probably 4 or 5 times. I found it. One time I paid $1 for one. One time I paid $5. One time somebody knew what they had and I paid $20, but I still flipped it for. That was the one in the box I flipped for like $50 or $60. But the one I paid $1 for, I think I sold for $40. So definitely deals to be had, especially at garage and yard sales. Little kids put their Game Boys and all their video games out there. $20, scoop up a system and like 8 Pokemon games. All of a sudden you're in business. All right, number 2 is Zelda. Zelda is very popular. It's old school. One of my favorite games of all time. I liked Zelda 2. Zelda 1 was okay, but Zelda 2 is one of my favorites. They've remade them here on Game Boy Advanced. They've got plenty of these games for GameCube. Also, the Wii and Wii U have several games. Zelda Wind Walker. The new Zelda for the new system, the Switch. N64 had Zelda for the Ocarina of Time. You can see these games again, $20, $30, $40. There's my personal favorite, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link for the original NES. If it's used, just the cartridge, you can usually get close to $20 for it. If it's complete with everything, that is going to be like $60, $70, the one you see right there. The Ocarina of Time, $15 to $20. If you can get the Link to the Past for Super Nintendo, you're looking at $30 to $40. The GameCube one, Twilight Princess, usually $30 to $40. Same for the Wii U, $30. So you can see Zelda is a really good consistent seller, and it sells very quick. Zelda's super popular. All right, number 3 is always Mario. I didn't put him at number 1, but anything Mario is going to sell. They're not all worth a lot of money, but you know you're never going to have a problem selling Mario in the first day or 2 that you have it. Obviously, look up whatever title it is. The Game Boy Advance games, $5, $10, $15. We can go all the way to like Super Mario World for Super NES or like for N64, and you might be looking at a $20, $30 game. Just depending on which one you have. You have Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, a little more, $30, $40. Again, look them all up because the prices I'm quoting here could change before I even post this video. So, but yeah, that's what you want to look up. Anything Mario will sell immediately. Going along with that same theory, Super Smash Brothers, which is the series of games where the characters all fight each other. There's Zelda, there's Mario, there's Pokemon, there's Princess, there's everything in Super Smash Brothers, whether it is GameCube or N64 or the newer Wii versions, they all sell and they sell good. Super Smash on 3DS is a $20, $25 game. The older two for N64 and GameCube are going to be the most expensive, which is right there. You're talking $40 to $50 games on those if you can find them. The Super Smash Brothers Melee for GameCube is like a $45, $50 game. The N64 Super Smash Bros. Is anywhere from $30 to $50. The Super Smash Brothers for Wii U is probably $30. And then the other ones for 3DS is like $25. And the Wii is probably the cheapest. That's the Super Smash Brothers Brawl. That one's only like $15 to $20. But they're all very consistent and they will sell right away. Another one of my favorite games. My favorite RPG game of all time, I have Final Fantasy 15 for Sony PS4. I have not beat it. I played a little bit and then I got too busy with work. I don't get a lot of time to game, but I love the Final Fantasy titles. Final Fantasy 7, one of my favorites. And the new Final Fantasy 15 is awesome. The graphics are amazing. The fighting's amazing. I wish I had more time to play. The old SNES, Super NES Final Fantasy 3 game is like a $40 to $50 one. Final Fantasy 15 currently for PS4 is hovering around $30. Of course, I paid $60 for it brand new. It's been out for several months. Some of the old Final Fantasy 7s, you can still get, I think, $30, $40, depending on the condition it's in. Final Fantasy 2 for Super NES, $35. Anything with the Final Fantasy on it is going to sell pretty quickly. You should have no problem moving that stuff. There's Final Fantasy 8, which is another good one, $20. Just a ton of Final Fantasy games. There's probably 15 or 20 of them between all the platforms. Make sure you pick them up. Some of them are not worth more than $10, but as long as you can pay decent for them, they'll sell. Okay, one of the rare ones that you're not going to see a lot of, but I'm going to put it out there just because, is the NES original games that are hard to find. Two of the hardest ones to find are the Flintstones and Little Samson. The Flintstones runs anywhere from $800 to $1,000. Sometimes you can find it a little cheaper, sometimes not. There's the box only selling for $700, $645. I mean, the Flintstones original game for NES is like impossible to find. Same with Little Samson, which is that one right there, right next to it. Basically, Little Samson was like an RPG style side scroll, the old school one. So anyways, those two games, very hard. There's another one called Bubble Bobble. That one's really hard to find. Any of the really hard to find NES games. So if you come across NES games, look them up, see if they're one of the rare ones. And make sure they're not a reproduction, because reproductions are getting big right now. One of everyone's favorite little characters, this guy would be number 7, would be Spyro. Spyro, Year of the Dragon, Legend of Spyro. The original PS1 game is the one that's worth the money. That's $30, $40. The Legend of Spyro on Wii can sell for $20. The rest of them don't sell great, but they will sell. I would stick to the PS1, the Wii, maybe the 3DS DS game, but the rest of them, like the GameCube, not so good. The Game Boy Advance game, not so good. The PS3 one, The Legend of Spyro, Dawn of the Dragon, that one sells good. Eternal Nights, like 10 or 15, but anything you see with Spyro, if you can get it cheap, grab it. Look it up like everything else. But the PS1, the PS3, and those two are the best to get if you can. All right, number 8. This is going to be a little weird. People may not understand this, but any kind of Japanese fighting Korean, any of the Asian anime or fighting games. Suikoden comes to mind right off the top. That is a PS1 game. $300, $400 for, well, this one is showing for the lot is showing 200. So they're about 100 to 200 a piece. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a rare game. It's hard to find. There's the Suikoden 2 Complete in the Case, 135. So you guys can see how these games are expensive. Any of those old school Fighting Force, I think, is one. There's quite a few of them. If they're really old, they're PS1, they're RPG, they're fighting, they're anime, they're Japanese. There's one called like Dragon Ages. I think it's PS2 or Legend of the Dragon. I'd have to look that up. They are, there's the Wrecking Crew. But they are, that's like a $30, $40 game for each of those. So make sure you keep an eye on any of this odd looking stuff, this Asian Oriental RPG style stuff. So that's number 8. Number 9 is going to be one that everybody knows, Grand Theft Auto, especially Grand Theft Auto 5. This game is now 4 years old, and it's still selling for $30 to $35 on the PlayStation 4. Pretty much all day long, used $30, $30, $30, 35, 34, 34, 33, 30, 35. So if you can find this for $10 or under, grab it. If you find it on other platforms, check the price because it's a little cheaper on Xbox 360 and PS3. Even on Xbox One, it's a little cheaper. I think it's selling for like 20 to 25. But still, if you can get it for, $5, $6, $8, good pickup. Some of the older Grand Theft Auto games don't sell so great, but the title is popular, so it will sell. Even if it's only a $10 game, you can buy it for 50 cents or $1. Do grab it because the title sells. Awesome, and let's move on to number 10. Another character you guys will recognize. I got to be throwing you back like some nostalgia here. It's Crash Bandicoot. Crash sells awesome for PS1. The original Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2 for Cortex Strikes Back and the original, they're $15, $20 games, sometimes a little more. There's another Crash game. It's called Warped. That one can be $15, $20. The PS2 games, the Wrath of Cortex, probably like $10, $15. There's also another one, and the name of it slips my mind right now. I've sold it quite a few times. It's called like Mutant something or another. That's like a $20 to $25 game usually. You'd have to scroll down. It's called Mutant something. But the new Crash is coming out. So right now is a really good time if you're listening to this in May of 2017. The new Crash will be out, and that's going to make the old Crash games go up in value, at least for a little while. Again, it depends on when you're watching this video. But Crash Bandicoot, our favorite guy, is a really good seller. And I'll give you guys a bonus number 11, just because people ask about this all the time. Sports games from the current year are worth buying sometimes. Again, it's May, and the brand new Madden 17 with Gronk on the cover is already down to like $18 to $20 used. So in the first couple of months of the year that it's in, it's worth $20, $25. Remember, these games come out before Christmas last year. This Madden 17 came out in like October, November. So by the time Christmas is over, it's dropped in half from the 60. It's down to, at least 30, if not 25. And now we're talking 4 months later, it's down to 18 to 20. So if you buy these, be very careful and buy them cheap because they drop in value really fast. So that's what I got for you guys. That's some of the best video games to buy, some of the ones you should be looking for, the titles. You guys know a lot of them. Make a list, keep it in your phone, look stuff up, research it, put down prices that you can pay for things when you buy it or when you sell it, and it'll be quick. If you're out at a garage sale or a pawn shop, you'll be able to go right through the games, find the ones that have the value, buy them, and move on to the next ones. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. And everything you need to know about my social media, my links, affiliate links, equipment you might need, everything else, down below in the description box. Just press that more button and it will all show up. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.